UFC 287's co-main event is Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. I'm going to be doing an early prediction and breakdown for this video. I'm basically going to break down how these guys physically match up against each other and how I think the fight will go. So let's get right into the video. We have Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. Gilbert Burns 21-5, Jorge Masvidal 35-16. So he's been around for a while. Gilbert Burns will be 2 years younger, will be a 1 inch shorter, obviously in the same weight class. Will be at a 3-inch reach disadvantage for Gilbert Burns, and will have a 1/2 inch leg reach advantage. For Gilbert Burns, his last couple fights was a pretty dominant win over Neil Magny. Pretty much just took him down, out-grappled him on the ground, and won by an arm triangle. A loss to Khamzat Chimaev was a pretty competitive fight. It was a very entertaining fight. Also, I believe he did knock down Chimaev like once or twice in that matchup. I think it was officially once. It was a super entertaining matchup. It was the most competitive matchup we've seen between anybody with Khamzat Chimaev, so he looked super impressive there. Took a lot of damage, but looked super impressive. And then beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, basically just laying on him that whole entire fight, which is pretty boring. But he has looked very impressive in his last couple of fights. For Jorge Masvidal, last 3 fights have been losses. The last fight was a loss to Colby Covington. Colby basically dominated him. Was it 50-44 on one of the judges' scorecards, I believe, if not 2. So he got pretty much dominated in that matchup outside of one punch he landed in the 4th round. Before that, he lost to Kamaru Usman twice. The second time he did get flatline, knocked out cold. Very brutal to watch because you didn't really expect it from a guy like Masvidal, but he got KO'd in that one, and then lost by a very boring decision against Kamaru Usman. And then before those, obviously the Ben Askren like 5-second KO with the flying knee, and then the KO over Nate Diaz with the cut, I guess, or the stoppage. So for this one, I think I'm obviously going to go with Gilbert Burns here. I think Masvidal does kind of have a chance. For Gilbert Burns, he has the power advantage. I think he's a little younger, so I don't think for a Masvidal, although I think maybe Gilbert Burns, maybe for the Khamzat Chimaev fight, you can argue that maybe the chin might be taken away, I guess. You can argue that. But for Jorge Masvidal, he is getting older. I believe, 38 years old in 4 months. For Gilbert Burns, he is 36. He's probably going to be, he won't be 37 by the time this fight is, or maybe, no, he won't, but he'll be close to 37 by the time this fight is. So he's no like spring chicken, let's be real. He's getting older. So the durability is kind of going away for Gilbert Burns. But I think for Jorge Masvidal, he's 38 years old. In that Kamaru Usman fight, we saw him get laid out cold. Even in the Colby fight, we know how Colby's striking is. Colby actually hurt him, I believe, in that 4th round before Jorge knocked him to a knee. So I don't know. There's a big question of durability for Jorge Masvidal at this point. For Gilbert Burns, his last fight was against Neil Magny, like a week ago. It says 6 days ago. I don't know if that's necessarily right, but yeah, wait, 6 days ago. Why is something's wrong with Tapology? But for that Khamzat Chimaev fight, he fought 7 months prior. If that's even correct, what in the world is wrong with this Tapology? I think the dates are wrong, but Gilbert Burns has fought almost, I think, about a year from now, and then he took no damage in that Neil Magny fight. So yeah, it says Khamzat Chimaev April. So it's been 10 months since that fight. Took no damage in the Neil Magny fight. So he's been pretty clean. There's no reason to question anything about his chin. So I think the power here, I don't know if he's going to be able to get Masvidal down. Masvidal has a really good takedown defense. Showed it in the Colby Covington fight. I guess you could say Colby took him down, but he was really good defensively. I don't think he's going to get choked out from that position. Even though Colby's grappling, you won't put it up there with the Gilbert Burns. Colby's wrestling is really good, and Usman was having a hard time getting Masvidal down. So I think Gilbert Burns getting Masvidal down in the first place will be hard, because I think Masvidal has been training his wrestling and grappling a lot. So I don't think Gilbert Burns will get him down. And I think if he does, Masvidal has one of the better, I believe, I would say takedown defense, or I don't want to say grappling defense, but takedown defense for a stand-up fighter, probably in that division, one of the better ones for a stand-up fighter, not in general, because welterweight does have a lot of wrestlers and grapplers. But he does have really good takedown defense, so I don't think that will necessarily be a threat for Masvidal in this fight. So I think it's going to be staying on the feet. Again, Masvidal does have a chance, but I think the durability is really in question here. I think he's going to train his ass off for this one. I think he really wants that Leon Edwards fight for obvious reasons. Like, he didn't want it for a while. It didn't seem to matter. He took the Colby fight over the Leon Edwards fight, but I think he really wants that title shot. I think even Leon Edwards having a really good chance of beating Kamaru Usman, in my opinion, because all the other I think I did an early prediction on that one. I believe. So if you want to check that one out, you can. But if he believes that Leon Edwards is going to beat Usman, there's a chance for a title fight there, and that's why I think he'd probably try and work really hard for this matchup. But I'm going to go Gilbert Burns this is a 3-round fight, so maybe it's like a 3-round war, or maybe I think he gets like a TKO finish in like that 3rd round where he knocks him down and then submits Jorge Masvidal. I can see that too. Jorge still has a decent chin, so I think he can maybe knock down Jorge and then go on the ground and submit him. I think that would make a lot of sense. Maybe like a late 3rd round submission for Gilbert Burns when he knocks him down. This is the co-main event. I don't think it shouldn't be 5 rounds, but it's a 3-round fight, I believe. So I think he'll just knock him down in the 3rd round. I think it'll be pretty back and forth. I think Gilbert Burns will probably get more on the damage side. We'll see Jorge Masvidal start to, like, after some of Gilbert Burns' punches, like, react very oddly, like not someone that's going to win the fight. He's going to be a little struggling with he's going to be struggling a little bit with the power of Gilbert Burns. I think maybe Masvidal will land a couple good shots on Gilbert Burns. He is kind of open. He does swing pretty heavy. So I guess there is chances for Masvidal here. Masvidal does have a decent chance in this matchup, especially if it stays on the feet against a guy like Gilbert Burns. So we'll see how this one goes, because Gilbert Burns necessarily doesn't have an iron chin, but like, I feel like either one of these guys can get caught. So I'm just going to go with the power of Gilbert Burns, the momentum. He hasn't taken much damage. He's a pretty durable fighter. Although Jorge Masvidal hasn't fought in a while, like, I guess if he's getting hurt by Colby Covington on the feet, not saying he got dropped or anything, but it looked like he was getting hurt pretty badly in that 4th round. I'm just going to trust with the more durable fighter here, and Gilbert Burns with the heavier striking. So I'm going to go Gilbert Burns by a 3rd round submission. I think he knocks down Jorge Masvidal, and I think he finishes it on the ground. Probably just lays on top of him. Jorge tries to escape a little bit. Even though he has really good defense, Gilbert Burns has really good submissions and grappling. So if not, it'll probably just go to a decision, probably 30-27. But I'm going to go Gilbert Burns in this one. But there is pretty solid upset potential from Jorge Masvidal in this matchup. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you check out my other videos regarding this event. I think I'm going to do Adesanya Pereira coming soon. I'm kind of just running through events just to make sure I have them all in order, because I kind of got behind on some of these scheduled events. So I'm just trying to finish all of them, and then when new ones come out, I'll just make new ones or whatever. But I guess I'm working on 287 now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next